Alright gang, allow me to show you this. Today is December 30th, 2017. I got up in the morning, ran my errands as usual, and had a little bit of free time, so I swung into an old antique shop I hadn't been to in a while. They typically open at 10, and I got there, they typically open at 11, and I got there about 10:45. And I was sitting in my Bronco, looked out the windshield, and I was parked in front of the deck area of the antique shop, and up under there was a bunch of stuff, and I noticed a 70s era dump truck sitting there, and right beside it I saw the front end of this. I thought there was another dump truck there that was green, so I get out and I walk over there, and I realized it had a trailer hooked up to it, and it turned out to be this bottom dump. I've never had one of these before. I saw one at a toy show one time, and it was in really good shape, a little better than this one, because this one does have some scrapes and some scuff marks, but man, this is pretty good shape. And the one I saw at the toy show, it was yellow and almost immaculate condition, and the guy that bought it paid like $125 for it, and I'm talking several years ago. So every time I'd see one on eBay or Etsy or somewhere like at a show, I'm sorry, not a show, but a trade shop or something, there's always over $100. This one had a $45 tag hanging on it, and it was dirty. The cab had some stickers on it, and they came off with just regular soap and water. I still need to clean it up some more, and I'll do that after this video. I just couldn't wait to show this to you guys. I said I wasn't buying any more pressed steel, but there was no way I was walking away from this. So I start looking at it, falling in love with it, pick it up, walk inside with it, and the guy that owns the trade shop said, yeah, I keep forgetting to bring those in, as I picked them up several weeks ago, and they've just been sitting up under the deck. And I told him, I said, man, you know, he's supposed to call me when he gets this stuff, and they had rearranged their front office and they had misplaced my information, so I made sure they had it again, because normally they call me when they find stuff like this, and here recently they've been striking out, but they hit a home run. They truly did. So I paid him the $45. I didn't negotiate down or anything. I'm like, man, there's no way. I'm just taking it as is. Well, the machine wouldn't take my debit card. It wasn't taking anyone's debit card, so I had to turn around, and I had like $40, and I was buying some other things, so I had to turn around and put it on my Discovery card. And I hate to charge anything, but like I said, wasn't leaving without it. He was actually going to let me go ahead and take it and just write him an IOU and come back in a couple of days and just pay him for everything. I'm not that way, because I'll forget about it, and then months later it hit me, I never paid him for it, and I'll feel like a turd trying to get him caught up. So went ahead and charged him my Discovery card, walked out with it. Go to my parents' house, and one of my neighbor friends that I grew up with pulls up the driveway, and I showed it to him, and he had one. It wasn't the mighty Tonka bottom dumper, it was just a regular Tonka bottom dumper, and he sure did like it. And he made me promise if I decided to sell it, to give him an option to pick it up from me. It's not going anywhere until I die. So let's check this bad boy out. Now, like I said, all I did was just wipe it down with a wet sponge. I haven't really cleaned it up. There was stickers here, stickers here. You might see some of the residue. Yeah, there's a little residue coming up with the glue for the sticker. I'll have to get some more cleaner out and get it cleaned up. Now, this is the early 70s, and the reason why I say that is the white headlights. Like halfway through the 60s, they went from the clear headlights to the white headlights, and then I think right 77, 78 time frame, they went from the white headlights to the black headlights, and then they changed the whole grill concept that you see here. I'm not a Tonka expert, but all I can tell you is every Tonka I have now that I had as a kid had white headlights. Some of the other ones I've picked up after here and there, that made no sense. Apologize. Anyway, the black headlights, same trucks and all that, same build, just a different color headlights. The clear headlights always turn brown, so when, you know, if they got brand new clear headlights in there, somebody's replaced them, or that truck is just in immaculate shape and nobody's ever done anything with it. Alright, but there's front view. The decal, original decal on there. It's got some damage to it, but man, this is a Tonka truck it was played with. We're gonna look at the curbside stacks and the air tank. Air tank's hard as a rock. I mean, it is just hard. It's supposed to be a little pliable, but this one's not. Like I said, there's glue residue from sticker here and sticker here, and like I said, I hadn't had a chance to clean it up. A little bit of rust, but hey, gives it character. Letters on the tires are pretty good on both front and back. I'm gonna just flip it around again. Okay, unlike the dump truck frame, this has got a dolly on it, so it is a totally different frame. I always wondered about that. And whoops, and here's the roadside, and you see all the goodness of that. So let's flip this out for the trailer. Alright, curbside of the trailer. Again, the paint on the tires are in really good shape. I mean, there's some play wear and all that, and that's to be expected. The dump mechanisms, they actually work, and they're still tight. I was surprised that they're not all, like the handles aren't all beat up and the red safety cap is still on there. There's the interior shot. Like I said, this thing was, it's dirty and it was played with, but it didn't have gravel. I'm assuming it didn't have gravel or sand in it much, at least sand. But when I cleaned it up, banged it around, no sand really fell out. So I don't know what was done to this toy truck. It was played with, but it may have never went outside. It may have been a basement dweller. Alright, here's the back. This is what I like. The tail lights. I hate that they dropped the tail lights on the trailers. I'm not exactly sure when they did that. I want to say early 70s. That was a nice addition. Now, I didn't have to remove this decal, but you see glue residue here. And it's just a little depressed right here, but that, oh, I'm sorry. It was depressed right here, but that's more than okay. I'm not going to be upset with that. And we're looking at the roadside, and there again, like I said, the dump mechanism works. The little red protector tab is still on it. Okay, so I measured it. It's too long for me to hold the cab, have the cab straightened out. Well, it's too long for the table I'm on. The table, I've taken a leaf out. And I should put it back in because it's aggravating when I try to show you something and I can't show you the full length of it. It's 29 inches long. This is a good looking truck. Now, I have speculation, and maybe somebody who knows more about Tonkas than I can tell me this. The trailer looks kind of narrow for this truck. I'm thinking that, and this is my thought, that this trailer is the same size trailer as just a standard Tonka bottom dump truck. That's my theory. So I'm sure they didn't upsize the trailer just for the mighty Tonka. They just probably used the same trailer. Now, if you can tell me if I'm right or wrong, I'd really appreciate that. But I'm going to run with that theory because it makes a lot of sense to me, because the trailer does look a little narrower. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can get a shot of that. Well, it's not coming up as great as I thought it would. I'm trying to show you why I think that this trailer was probably the same trailer that's used on the standard Tonka. But it does look a little narrower than the cab. Well, it is narrower than the cab. And the trailer does not extend over the tires at all on the tractor or the rear axle of the trailer. Alright, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to try to stop buying pressed steel, but if these oddball ones like this pop up again, I will snatch them. This is one I couldn't walk away from. It's going to go into my collection that I have no room for. I got to go in there and make some more shelf space. I don't know what I'm going to do because I'm completely out, and I got stuff overflowing into other rooms now. Pretty sad that I have all this stuff and I have no room for it. But gang, I'm going to close it out with that. Tonka bottom dumper. Man, this thing is awesome. green on top of that. I know the yellow was a standard color, green was an alternate color, and I think they called it, was it Euclid green? Then they had the orange yellow color, which I really like. But that's it on this one, guys. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday.